The diner was a tired little spot, tucked between a pawn shop and a laundromat in Memphis, Tennessee, on a chilly November evening in 2027. The neon sign flickered, buzzing like it was begging for a break. Marcus Tate paused, hand on the back of an empty booth by the window, the kind of seat that promised a view of the street and a moment of peace. The hostess, barely glancing up from her scratch tablet, muttered, "You can't sit there. That's for regulars." Marcus raised an eyebrow. The place was half dead, tables empty, staff moving like they were counting down the clock. "Just need a spot for one," he said, voice steady as a slow river. She shrugged, no apology, no warmth, and pointed him to a wobbly table near the kitchen door, where the air smelled of grease and regret. He nodded. "Whatever works." Marcus wasn't dressed to impress. Faded jeans, a worn leather jacket, boots that had seen better days, and a baseball cap pulled low. No one would have guessed he was the man who'd poured $3 million into this chain, a mid-range burger joint called Hearthstone, meant to lift up local workers and breathe life into forgotten neighborhoods. The pitch had been perfect: fair wages, community focus, a beacon of hope. But the complaints, high turnover, wage disputes, shady reviews told a different story. So Marcus came, not as a CEO, but as nobody, just a guy ordering a burger to see what was rotting under the surface. The server, Clara, approached, her eyes heavy with exhaustion, hair tied back in a messy knot. She was maybe 30, her movements precise but drained, like she'd been on her feet since dawn. "Hey, I'm Clara. What can I get you?" No fake cheer, just quiet professionalism. Marcus met her gaze. "What's good here?" She hesitated, glancing toward the kitchen. "Burger's solid. Fries are fresh. Coleslaw's not from a can." He nodded. "Burger, medium rare." "Thanks." She scribbled it down and left. No small talk, no upsell. Marcus leaned back, scanning the room. A man stood by the bar, arms crossed, clipboard in hand, posture screaming control. That had to be Derek, the manager, a name Marcus recognized from a glowing report that didn't add up. The burger came fast, cooked right, plate warm. Someone in the kitchen still cared. Clara refilled his coffee without a word, then slid the check across the table in a black folder. She didn't linger, just walked away. Marcus sipped his coffee, then opened the folder. Tucked beneath the receipt was a folded scrap of paper, blue ink scrawled across it. "If you're who I think, stay." 6 words, no signature, no plea, just a quiet detonation. His pulse quickened, but he didn't flinch. Across the room, Clara's reflection flickered in the window, her eyes catching his just long enough to confirm she knew. She suspected, and she was risking everything. Marcus finished his meal, left cash, and tucked the note into his jacket. He stood, heading toward the front, but veered into a hallway marked "Employees Only." A voice snapped behind him. "Restrooms are the other way." Marcus turned. Derek stepped out, clipboard gone, arms still crossed like he owned the air itself. "You got a problem?" Derek asked, voice tight. Marcus tilted his head. "Just wanted a word with my server." Derek's smile was a blade. "That's not how we do things. Issues go through me." Marcus's voice stayed calm, lethal. "That's gonna change." Derek's eyes flickered doubt, maybe fear. He didn't push, just muttered, "She's probably in the back." Marcus walked past, boots echoing on tile. He found Clara by the prep sink, chopping onions, her hands steady but her shoulders tense. She froze when she saw him. "You got it," she whispered. He nodded. She glanced around, then gestured to a supply closet. Inside, the air reeked of bleach and stale fryer oil. She shut the door. "I didn't know what else to do," she said, voice low. "They fire people for asking questions. Hours vanish. Tips disappear." She pulled a folded napkin from her apron, a silver key taped inside. His locker. Black bag. Burner phone, maybe more. Marcus took the key. "Why now?" She exhaled. "I saw you in Jackson years ago. You tipped me $50 for catching a kid stealing fries before he got caught. You didn't judge. I knew you were different." Marcus's eyes softened. "Thank you," he said. She nodded, voice shaking. "Use the side door." He watches the front. Marcus slipped the key into his pocket. "You okay?" he asked. Clara's smile was thin but real. "I've made it this far." The next morning, Marcus woke in a cheap motel, the key glinting on the nightstand. He dressed the same jeans, jacket, Capan drove to a lot 2 blocks from Hearthstone. By 11:07 a.m., he was back inside. Same hostess, same half-empty diner. Clara passed him once, their eyes locking brief line of words, just trust. Derek appeared, clipboard in hand, his stare heavier now, like he sensed a storm. Back again, he said, voice oily. Marcus shrugged. Food was good. Derek lingered, then walked off, glancing back. Marcus waited, sipping coffee, then slipped into the back hallway. The supply door was propped open with a broom Clara's signal. In the locker room, the air smelled of sweat and cleaner. Marcus found Derek's locker, marked DL, in faded tape. The key clicked, and inside was a black gym bag, a burner phone, and a notebook. The phone held texts. Cut her hours. She's asking too much. Push the invoice through. 15% padded. Rotate staff again. Clara's sniffing. Marcus's jaw tightened. He snapped photos, page after page, then checked the bag rolls of cash, small bills, unreported. The notebook was worse. Doctored hours, skimmed tips, liquor counts fudged. Proof of a small empire built on theft. The door creaked. Marcus turned. Derek stood there, no smile, just fury. You think you're clever? He hissed. Marcus didn't move. I'm not the one hiding cash. Derek stepped closer. You broke into my locker. That's theft. Marcus held up the notebook. I'm not a customer, Derek. I'm the guy who funded this place. And you've been stealing from the people I promised to protect. Derek blinked, stumbling back. You're Monroe? Marcus's voice was ice. You broke every rule I wrote. Call the cops if you want. They'll believe me. He walked past, notebook and phone in his jacket, JSON. Type, bar. Data. Labels, wage theft, tip skimming, hour manipulation. Datasets. Label, reported incidents. Data. 12, 8, 15. Background color, FF6B6B, for ECDC 4, 45B7D1. Border color, D90429, 2A9D8F, 1A759F. Border width 1. Options. Scales. Y. Begin at 0. True. Title. Display. True. Text. Number of incidents. X. Title. Display. True. Text. Violation type. Plugins. Title. Display. True. Text. Ethics violations at Hearthstone, Memphis, 2027. No rush, no fear. Back at the motel, Marcus uploaded everything to Sentinel, his ethics enforcement system. One click flagged Hearthstone as non-compliant, freezing $3 million in funding and alerting 14 partner cities. The ripple began. By noon, his phone buzzed. Victor Reed, regional director, voice tight. There's a misunderstanding, Mr. Tate. Marcus cut him off. You let Derek run that place like a prison. You ignored every report. Audit's coming. He hung up. That evening, Clara found an envelope taped to the back door. Thank you, with a legal voucher inside. She exhaled, feeling the air shift. The next day, Marcus returned. The diner buzzed with nervous energy. Clara approached, handing him another envelope. Legal protection and my number, he said. Call me, not HR. She nodded. You've kicked the hornet's nest. Marcus smiled. It was already buzzing. Derek appeared, no clipboard, just a stiff glare. You're ruining lives, he spat. Marcus leaned back. You did that. I'm just turning on the light. By Monday, Sentinel's reach exploded. 6 Hearthstone locations lost funding. 3 cities, Knoxville, Little Rock, Savannah, suspended partnerships. Clara's note had ignited a fire. At Harbolight's Atlanta HQ, Marcus watched Sentinel's dashboard glow red with flags, testimonies, receipts, videos of managers berating staff. Clara, now on his team, pointed to a video. Nashville. Manager fired a kid for clocking in early. Marcus nodded. Build a heat map. Keep Clara's name out of it. Then Derek struck back, hitting local radio, claiming Marcus targeted him unfairly. But Sentinel's evidence texts, footage, ledgers was ironclad. Clara watched the clip and said, I'll testify. He doesn't get to lie. By Friday, she stood in a law firm's office, recounting every incident, her voice steady. I'm not here for revenge, she said. I'm here so no one else has to hide a note. The federal ethics complaint hit that night. Derek's name now tied to investigation. The story outgrew Memphis, becoming the Sentinel effect. For chains requested audits. Workers mailed napkins to Harbolite, stories of stolen wages and broken trust. Clara named the folder The Unfolding. She whispered, "This is a reckoning." In D.C., Marcus testified before Congress, explaining Sentinel's pause and reveal model. Clara, beside him, spoke. "I wrote a note because silence was killing us." The truth sticks, even on a napkin. The room erupted. The Sentinel Act passed, mandating ethics oversight for $50 million contracts. But a new threat emerged: performance theater. Clara caught it in a Chicago diner, where staff smiled too perfectly, trained to fool audits. A server slipped her a receipt. They act nice for Sentinel. Clara and Marcus rewrote the rules. Unannounced audits, worker panels, no optimization firms. The first surprise audit tanked a chain's score in minutes. Clara tweeted, "Sentinel doesn't punish flaws. It punishes lies." In Geneva, 2028, Clara faced global scrutiny at a UN forum. Critics called Sentinel intrusive. She countered, "It's not control. It's a mirror." Delegates from Brazil and Japan signed on. Back home, she declined a global ethics role. "I'm not building an empire," she told Marcus. "I'm holding the mirror." At the renamed Napkin Counter Diner, a teen server offered her a blank napkin. "When I know what to write, you'll know," she said. Clara nodded. "Write it loud." Her open letter went viral. Ethics isn't a throne. It's a choice. Write your napkin. Burn the system if you must. Napkins poured in globally, each a voice, each a spark. Clara kept them in a glass box, proof that truth doesn't need a title, just courage. What would you write on your napkin? Who's been silenced in your world? And would you risk everything to speak for them? Should systems like Sentinel expose lies or forgive flaws? Drop your thoughts below. Let's spark a fight worth having. Like, subscribe, and join the reckoning.